Hey guys, this is Travis Eliot, and welcome to Yin Yoga Lazy Days. This class is from Interdimension TV, an online streaming platform that I co-founded with my wife Lauren, and you can get access to all my programs, series, and classes over there. So I'll drop a link down below if you're interested. You can start your 10-day free trial. Also, before we start the class, remember to hit that YouTube subscribe button. And I think that's it, so let's get lazy. All right, welcome to Yin Yoga Lazy Days. Let's go ahead and get started in our first posture, what we call fallen tree. So you're going to come down onto your belly, and then you're going to flare the elbows as you bend your right knee and draw your right knee up until it's in alignment with your right hip. And with the elbows bent and flared out, you can turn the gaze over towards the right. So same direction that your right knee is bent, and then you're just going to rest and relax the left side of your face on top of your hands, almost as if that was a pillow. Now, one Zen master put spiritual practice this way. Spiritual practice is like chopping down a huge tree of immense girth. You won't accomplish it with one swing, but if you keep chopping away at it, eventually, over time, whether it wants to or not, it will suddenly topple. So we get onto our mat, and we know that sometimes chopping down the tree is symbolic of dealing with maybe the busyness or restlessness of the mind, the inevitable distractions that arise, the things that keep us from being purely and totally in the present moment. So one day at a time, one practice at a time, one pose at a time, and really one breath, one moment at a time. You just keep chopping away. And then before you know it, you have that practice. It's a game changer. It's a breakthrough moment where you access those deeper, profound states of consciousness, spaciousness, and expanded awareness. So allow yourself within this class, these lazy days practice, to indulge, to enjoy some deep, well-deserved rest. Good. From here, we'll just maneuver our way now to the other side. So extend that right leg behind you. Lift the head up as you bend that left knee. Draw it up so it's in alignment with that left hip. Turn to face over towards the left this time. Taking that scan through your whole entire body and just making sure there's nowhere that you're gripping or holding on, but allowing the subtle musculature and the subtle tissues of the body to all release and yield to the shape of the pose, to the natural force of gravity drawing your body like a puddle into the ground below you. And nice and easily begin to ease your way out of that fallen tree as you extend the left leg behind you. And then we'll come into sphinx pose, so elbows underneath the shoulders, forearms parallel to each other. Legs, feet extending back. A gentle press down into those elbows and those forearms. Either gazing out in front of you with a relaxed gaze, or you could even close the eyes here as well if you like. Especially being a yin class, which has a lot more to do with the subtle and the internal than it does the external and the superficial. So you can imagine not only are you moving deeper and deeper into the subtle tissues of the body, but you're also moving deeper and deeper into the ocean of your own mind, the ocean of your own awareness. If you feel like you want to go into a deeper variation, seal pose, you can open the hands out. Gently press down into those hands like a soft upward dog. Keeping in mind in yin, we always want to find the path of gentleness and sensitivity, not overindulging in intense sensation. So it's soft and it's sustainable for you. If you're in the seal pose, nice and easily start to lower the elbows down. And then from here, we're going to come into what I like to call surrender pose. So surrender pose, you're going to extend your hands, your arms out in front of you. Legs stay back behind you, and then you release your forehead down onto the ground. Surrender pose reminds me of some of my trips to India, seeing a pilgrim in front of a holy temple in an elevated, boundless state of devotion as a way of surrendering to their higher power, to the divine. Beautiful. Go ahead and slide the hands back by the ribs. Child's pose. Take the hips all the way back. If you have pillows or even a bolster, you may want to use that here. So I'm going to create a little ramp, the bolster and the pillow. And then you can relax the forehead down either onto the floor or your pillows. You could also turn your gaze towards one direction if that feels best. One afternoon, a group of students went to go see their Zen master teacher. And they inquired, they said, "Master, can we ask you a question?" The master said, "Yes, of course." And they said, "Well, we've been wondering, when we work, you work. And when we walk, you also walk. And when we sit, you sit. And when we eat, you eat. And when we sleep, you sleep. How come it is that we both do the same exact things, but you're the master and we're the students?" And the master had a little smile on his face as he responded. He said, "Well, you see, when you work, you're not just working. You're thinking about when you can sit, when you can take a break. And then when you sit, you're thinking about when you're going to be walking or standing. And when you're walking, you're thinking about eating. And when you're eating, you're thinking about other things. And when you're sleeping, you're ruminating about the events of the day. But when I work, I work. And when I walk, I walk. And when I sit, I sit. And when I eat, I eat. And when I sleep, I sleep." Being totally absorbed with the activity that I'm doing, focusing on one single thing at a time. Until you master the art of presence and the art of also doing one single activity at a time, you'll remain the student and I'll remain the master. See if you can focus on this moment right now, this pose right now, the sensation that arises within the pose right now. And of course, hopefully that'll translate into your life as well. So that you focus on giving your attention to one single thing at a time. Nice and easily begin to transition your way out of the child's pose. Now we'll come into our next yin pose by bringing the left leg forward, setting up for deer pose. So it looks like sleeping swan, at least on that front leg, where that front leg is bent about 90 degrees. You can always put a blanket to go underneath your left hip. The back right leg bends about 90 degrees, right shin flush with the right side of your yoga mat. And then we'll begin to drape out over that front right leg. If you have a block here, you can always place that underneath your forehead as well. And we're looking for that slow, sustained stretch into that outer left hip area and all that band of tissue that innervates through the largest joint in the body, the hip. Begin to exit out of this one. Coming all the way up, taking your time. Good. Now from here, you're just going to bring the hands onto the ground, the floor behind you. And then you're going to windshield wiper those knees side to side. So just a nice little counter movement for the deer pose. And then after a few of those, then we'll face towards the back of the mat, do the same thing. So deer pose. Now just turning the other direction. Feel free to get your block here if you like. And then as you're ready, just allow that torso and the weight of the torso to fold out over that front right leg, giving your right hip the same thing you just gave your left hip. That slow, deep healing touch. Last few breaths there. And as you're ready, begin to exit out of that one. And then we'll come back into another round of the windshield wipers. And then turn that body around to face forward towards the front. And go ahead and recline all the way down onto your back. From here, we'll set up for a supported bridge. You can always use a couple of pillows, or if you have a block, you'll slide that right underneath the lower back. Just finding the right height and the right position of your support there so that you feel stable, feel balanced. Supported bridge, the ultimate posture to indulge in feeling lazy. Very, very important to balance out work with rest, to balance out our power yoga practice with a practice like Yin Yoga, meditation. Power yoga is about training ourselves like a well-rounded athlete, reinforcing strength, balance, flexibility, stamina. And our Yin Yoga and our meditation practice is about training us like a Zen master in life. From here, you'll press down into the feet, lift the hips up a little bit higher so you can slide the block or the pillows off to the side, gently releasing the lower back onto the mat. Take a couple of moments there to just let the spine calibrate to what you just did as you observe the echo and the after effects of that last shape that you were in. Good, and then from here we'll come into the windshield wiper twist, so allow the knees to drape over to the left, and then if you like you can lift your left foot up and place it onto that outer right knee to deepen the twist, cactus in the arms, elbows bent. Just a few breaths there. And then other side, let those knees drape all the way over to the right. This time the right foot can rest on that outer left knee. And then just ease your way out of the twist. And go ahead and ease your way into Shavasana. Taking up some space so you feel spacious in the body, boundless in the mind. Shavasana. nice and easily start to move the fingers and the toes around, reactivating physical presence, sensation. Reach the arms up overhead, bring the legs together, stretch everything out as you interlace the fingers and turn the palms inside out. And then draw the knees, the thighs into the belly, and gently rock and roll your way all the way up to a last final comfortable seat. Both hands to prayer in front of the chest, the heart, sit up tall. Zen Master Thich Nhat Hanh says that true happiness is based on peace. So giving gratitude to this Yin Lazy Days practice for bringing you back to peace and therefore happiness. Much health, much wealth, and much love to you. Namaste. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed a little bit of downtime, a little bit of lazy time. I know that I did, and I really needed that. Drop me a comment down below and let me know how your practice was. Also, remember to hit that subscribe button, and I will see you next time. Until then, be well.